Welcome to, I think it's part three of this. I forget now, but we've got Terry on. He should be clicking on any second. Uh, some serious back and forward today. Terry's not used to people getting stuck right into him, is he? Oh, is what it is. But here we go. Yeah, you were saying, Terry, about these shows. Well, I was saying, sorry, it's going to be hard for Josh to get on and match people, in it? A young promoter trying to make his mark.
Okay, so Russ, where's he having the show?
It's at Barnsley.
Okay, what's the capacity of the venue?
Oh, I think it'll probably be. I think it might be a 3,000. It's 3 or 4,000 or something. Might be 3,000. I
Okay,
don't.
so
Might be less. Might be two.
okay, so 2,000.
I'll check
Let's
now. Yeah,
just say let's just say the average ticket price is 60 quid at 2,000, right? That's
not be that.
120
Won't be
grand.
that dear in Barnsley. It won't be that dear.
40 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still. Oh, I mean, even at 2,000 at 40 quid, it's still 80k, right? 80k across 6 fights. We'll say. Who are you really going to get for that kind of money?
It's just 600 guests inside our arena and 200 guests in the Rigby Function Suite. So you're looking at 800 people.
Okay, 800 people, 40 quid a pop. What's that? 32 grand
32 grand. Yeah. It
over
costs
6 fights.
15 to put it on. Then you've got to pay everybody, aren't you?
Yeah. So you pay 15. Yeah. Now, who can you put on to make your money?
Well, they
No
can't
one.
pay anybody, can you? Because there's no tip pot unless they get sponsorship, is it? It depends what sort of deal you can get. I'm just saying, you've got to be, he's got to be Josh has got to be very careful how he does this, because if you make any mistakes, the margins are that fine now. You've got to give him respect for doing this. The margins are that fine here. Any cock ups or anybody pulls out and they haven't got a ticket back, all lot can cave in the old stack of cards, can't it?
And that and this is my whole point.
Yeah.
You've got two options, I think, in boxing, right? Josh Well either goes, I'm the reason people are coming to the venue, right? And
Yeah.
maybe you kind of like the UFC. You go to watch the UFC, and whatever fights they put on, right? The UFC is a proposition in its own right. You can do that, or you say, right, you six fighters are the A side. I'm going to give you 150 tickets, you 150 tickets. You're going to get 150 tickets. You go out and sell them in Barnsley.
Yeah.
You're telling me there aren't 800 people that will buy a ticket for boxing in Barnsley?
I'd have thought there would be because they get a fair old crowd, don't they, at Oakwell?
So where are they?
Where are these boxers? I don't know. I mean, people keep telling me that, oh, Sheffield, it's a hotbed for boxing and Liverpool as well. I know promoters and managers who shit the pants when they say, oh, why don't we do it in Liverpool? They all fill the nappies.
Why?
I don't know. People say, I don't know. People used to say Liverpool are hotbed for boxing. Well, I've been to shows at Liverpool and they've been empty. And they've had all Smiths on, David Price and all sorts. And Yazza, Dickens, and
Right. I don't get it, Russ. You know what I mean? I don't get it because, like, look, you can do a video and you'll get 1,200 views in 24 hours, right? You can
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
Um,
easy.
it if you do one involving John Fury, you probably triple or quadruple that, right?
Yeah.
So you have a fan base. Where do these people live? Are these guys going to shows? Because
I
how are
think,
you a boxing fan if you don't go to bloody shows?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But what I'm saying to you is this, right? Are people going to pay 40 quid to watch 6 fights like of that level? Or they're going to want a bit more bang for the buck? Is that the problem with
Well,
the?
okay, okay,
Or
okay,
is people
okay,
struggling for money?
okay. So, but the bang for the buck, like you said, Russ, is going to cost you more money.
Yeah. So they're going to throw
You,
some shows on it, Josh.
yeah, you want big name people to come. You got to pay big name money.
Yeah.
And look, I know guys who have fought for British titles for 12 grand. So we're not talking loads of money here.
Mm.
But
People were getting more for British title fights 20 years ago. I remember looking at some figures when I worked for Dennis, and I was like, God, is that what people were getting then? And Dennis went, yeah. And I went, well, why are they not getting it now? And he said, it's all changed. And I thought, well, how can that be? We're moving forward like years and years and years here, more than one up to nearly 2 decades. So why are people getting more in 2002, 2005 than they are in 2022, 23? I can't work that out. Can you?
um, well, remember when they were doing those shows, Russ? There was a TV budget.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there was a healthy TV budget because you could sell advertising for more. But if you think now, let's say Porky's Corner wanted to advertise, you can't just advertise on TV anymore, right? Because you're like, what about the kids online? I got to hit Instagram, I got to hit Facebook, I got to hit Twitter. So as that advertising spend got spread out, less went to TV. And what is TV? TV is just creating content to sell advertising.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, you're not getting the same money in for those minute slots in a boxing fight. You're just not. So you have to cut your budget back. And that's why if you look at like Matchroom always try and make their money on the event itself. Anything from TV is a bonus.
Well, you know what Eddie Earn once
That's
told
the economics of it.
Eddie Earn once told me at an after party. He said that I said, God, you work hard, don't you, trying to sell shows? And he was more or less saying to me in as many words, and Dennis agreed with me on this, that they try and keep the TV money for themselves, the promoters. So they put that to one side and think, right, if I can work my knackers off and sell this show to as many people as I can get people to buy tickets, get commercial, and try and pay everything off that, and try and keep that TV money for myself. Because Sky at the time were getting 150 a show. Every now and then they'd have to dip into it, but not all the time. Now that's why I used to think, yeah, that's not why Eddie's out there all day flogging his bollocks, isn't he? Doing interviews all the time, isn't he? And I used to think, well, why
Yeah.
not do that? But Dennis wasn't getting that kind of money from TV people. He was having to put money into TV people and pay for production and then sell it with sponsorship for commercials and adverts, that kind of thing.
Mm.
Trying to find a way around it. And I used to think, God, it's going to be close. This, how they're going to work this. It was so tight and everything all hindered on Dennis's shows. And I always used to think it were always a bit tense on Monday, a fight week. And I could always sense it. And then Tuesday, and I'd think, oh God, nobody's pulled out yet. Wednesday, and then you're asking people how many tickets they've done. They're not picking their phones up, and I'm starting to think, oh, these fighters haven't done as many as they're saying they've done, or they're waiting for money to come in. So I said, well, how many have you done? They might know who owes you. How many have you done? What money you got in? Because that it was so tight, the markups. And this is why I always give people respect who are putting on smaller shows, even Bullcroft, because sometimes it can go to the way, can't it? You don't always make on everyone, It's a hard slog. And it's got harder, now for smaller. And I'm starting to wonder if there is going to be any smaller in 2 years, I really am, honestly. I really
So
am.
there will be. So there will be. I think what you're going to see boxing contract as a market. There are going to be fewer licensed boxers because no one's paying the grand 1,500, whatever it is, to get licensed. And people look, like I said, whatever this video does this time tomorrow, let's say it does 1,100. Of those 1,100 people that will watch this tomorrow, only about 60 will buy a ticket for a show. Maybe 100 will buy a pay-per-view. Most of these guys won't because they can just sit online and get it all in anyway. That's one of the problems with boxing. There's too much content available.
Yeah.
So you can watch everything, right? So boxing is not about the social. It's not a social sport, which it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a social sport. Unlike football's very social. I mean, you go to your local pub, everyone walks up to the game together. All this stuff happens. It doesn't happen in boxing because boxing starts too late. I've said it for a long time. Boxing should be starting. Definitely when the season's done, boxing should be starting about 3 o'clock and finishing in about 7, 8 o'clock.
You think?
Then you make it a social event.
Well, we're going to see, aren't we? But like I said, I just think that maybe everybody in boxing needs to all have a good look at themselves, and maybe government need to get involved and start giving people an hand like they do with football and that. I mean, I look at some of these football clubs that are struggling. You know, they're not even Ryman League. I'm talking about teams. You know, general teams. They get fundings and stuff. Nobody boxing never gets note off a government. You know, never gets
So,
nothing.
so all those government things for football are all loans, Russ. They're all
Oh,
commercial market loans.
I didn't know that.
They all have to be paid back. Yeah.
I didn't know that, Paul. I didn't know
So the
that.
reason the government do it is you keep football going, you keep the local economy going. Because every Saturday, when Sheffield United play at home, yeah, that that the southern half of the city, more money spent. The pubs are busy, the restaurants are busy, the shops are busy.
Yeah.
That's VAT, that's income tax. That's the government know what they're doing, and they know that football will pay back those loans eventually. And the only reason I know this, Russ, is when the pandemic kicked in, the bank I worked for at the time, we did loans to Leicester City, Southampton, West Ham, Bournemouth, Burnley at the time, some of the lower league clubs like Middlesbrough. I think Sheffield United won the championship, but we did about. Well, we were part of because we didn't carry all alone in our balance sheet because that's crazy. But we were involved in those loans to the Premier League clubs, those emergency loans, and so they had to show us a business plan of how they're going to pay everything back. So everything gets paid back. There are no gifts, no gimmies. Boxing didn't need it, Russ, because boxing is different. If there's no show, there's no overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the government gave you furlough, so you can furlough your staff. I mean, you could have furloughed Frank Smith if you wanted to.
Hello,
But
Frank.
football had contracts to pay. Yeah, you still had to pay people like Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah because they had contracts.
Yeah, but they all look like they're happy now, don't they? That lot.
Well, mate, it's a game. But remember, they generate them. They generate the money.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that I'm starting to get a little bit worried. I personally don't even see Dennis being around in another year. I keep thinking, what is he doing? Is he going to get a break or?
Well, you and I talk about this privately, Russ, don't
Yeah,
we?
yeah,
And we've said Dennis just needs to manage people for a couple of years.
yeah.
Yeah, he needs to
You
manage
told, you
people for a
told him
couple of
that last
years.
time we were out, didn't you? You told him that, didn't you?
Yeah, just pick these good kids, manage them, get your way back in that way, and then see where the promotional thing takes you. If it does take you, you may just enjoy managing guys. Because and we love Den, but Den's a guy who just wants to be in front of the camera, smiling and have memorable times in boxing. I'm like, you can just do that as a manager.
And get pissed up as well.
Yeah, which is a lot easier to do when you're a manager and the show's not your responsibility.
Oh, if you won't believe the pressures on Dennis when he has his shows on, his head spinning, mate. I swear to God, honestly, he's
I
spinning.
don't know how he does it.
He's harder, mate. I don't forget. He's spinning 20 plates all day,
Yeah,
and
it's
he's got to
mad.
keep, and then he had to keep his eye on me, fucking do it because I'm like a nuisance, aren't I? At times if I've had a drink, so I kind of like felt sorry for him, but you have to give him credit. He's been a stalwart, and what is he? I bet he's getting on for 200 shows he's done in his career now. It's a lot of shows, isn't it? And you know, I
And then
just
think of the letdowns.
think of the letdown. Oh,
There you go. The number of people who talked a good game to Dennis
yeah,
and never delivered for him.
the managers and all that. Yeah, there's loads of them.
This is why I have no sympathy for boxers. I never have done.
I mean,
I've
Liam's
not.
our friend, didn't he? But Liam let him down, didn't he? Really? And Chris, he did. He had the world at his feet. Liam, an ABA champion. He signed with Dennis. He got what he wanted. And
Liam should have gone to 2012. I will go to the grave maintaining that.
yeah, maybe you should have done, Liam. You should have gone there with Joshua and them, shouldn't he? As a light
Yeah.
man.
Can you imagine if Liam Cameron came up in that 2012 group
Yeah. He jumped
and
gun,
he
didn't
was
he?
Yeah, and he imagine him on a Joshua undercard and all. That's the career he could have had.
I know. I know. Unbelievable. And it'd have been more polished by the time Chris got his hands on him, wouldn't he? Hey?
Well, Chris created him.
I just feel for Liam now because when I seen him fight a few weeks ago, he, he's got a long way to go. Got to get some weight off on him.
Yeah, he'll end up at light heavy, I imagine, for a while. If he can even get down to 168, I imagine he'll be about, light heavy.
Well, I'd like to see him get down to middleweight, and but it'd be
No chance.
yeah, because of his age and that. You think?
Yeah, physical maturity. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough, isn't it? It's a tough old sport, isn't it? It's
No,
tough
no.
old sport.
It, it's tough. Well, the in-ring stuff is easy because it's just habit. People talk about you need to be tough to box. It's a habit, and it's a weird thing to explain because you see the first time you spar and you take a bit of a slapping, you wake up the next day and your head's ringing and your jaw aches and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, if you stick at it for about 6 weeks, it all goes away. Like you just get conditioned to it. It becomes a habit, and you're all good. So a lot of those guys who say it's tough, nah, it's a habit. You've done it your whole life. You've got no excuses. Go out there and sell yourself. Go and sell some tickets. Go and get people excited about you. Because there's no more important skill to have as a human being than the ability to sell. If you can sell, you can work anywhere because everything needs selling.
So you think it's up to the boxers to get out there, get off their arses, and stop moaning and get some tickets sold? And you think these?
That's how you prove, Russ. That's how you prove that people want to see you.
Yeah.
I would love that challenge. Terry, can you go and sell 150 tickets? I'd be sat at home pulling up plans. Like, how do I get these people interested? And I'd be saying to people, are you prepared to pay 60 quid for a ticket? If they say no, what would make you pay? If you fought for a British. Okay, cool. Let me put that person on the list for the British. And then there'll be some people who will just follow me all the way. But you've got to have that.
I had a mate with a boxer, and I remember him trying to sell tickets, and his family and all his mates were like, "Well, I should be getting this for free because I've known you years." And I were like, "Well, you can't say that to him. He's trying to get a living." Yeah, but why should I give him 40 quid every 4 months? I said, because he's your mate and he ain't trying to help him out and all that and sell tickets. Yeah, but I should be getting them free or getting looked after. People want everything for free. They want freebies. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, if they were coming around your house to build a wall at your house, they'd want paying, wouldn't they? These same people.
So, Russ, go back to what you said before, where you said they're bred different in mining villages. And I'll say this, people are people. You get rats everywhere. You get solid people everywhere. Yeah, like I can go to Brixton now, and there'll be a young man who's trying to do a club night, maybe even a student night, just a night where he can put on some entertainment, maybe make a few quid at the end, and his mates will be saying, "Can I get in for free?"
Yeah.
Because I think amongst working people, they're falling into this trap of believing that you getting in somewhere for free is a high status thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's only high status if you don't need to pay. Yeah. I've learned this, Russ. The more money you have, the more free stuff you get.
Yeah.
Because people know you don't need the money.
Yeah.
They know you don't, they still might have it. That's why when you go to the Oscars, man, they give you mad stuff in your gift bag, like a Rolex. You get a Rolex, whatever it is, or like a Tiffany chain, because they're like, don't need the money. How am I going to get their attention any other way?
Yeah, you want to see what gets sent in post.
Well, anyone sent you a pig's head yet?
No. I'm about Cobra Carl. I said, you want to see what Carl gets sent? He has like nice stuff, t-shirts, trackies, and all that, all good stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice, isn't it? Nice when you make it, you get perks, don't you? I suppose.
Yeah, but the way everyone wins in life is if you pay. You want boxing to be better, just say 3 times a year, I'm going to go to a show. If everyone does that, boxing improves.
So what's Josh Whale got to do then to do well with his show? He's just got to put more dough into it.
No, he should be having that conversation with the fighters, saying, "Listen, you lot got to shift these tickets.
You've got to get out there and get knocking on doors and selling yourself.
Be in a shopping center, man. Like, be in a shopping center, yeah, and just have an 18-ounce glove there. Make sure it's extra padded, and just say, listen, for a fiver, yeah, you can give me 5 body shots, yeah."
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, cool. And then you go, look, I'm a boxer. Look, I'm fighting on this date. If you want a ticket, put your name down here. Just
So
old school pounding the pavement, Russ.
So Josh Wales got to get Staffy from his gym to go into Barnsley Town Centre, go around all shops and say, right, go on, stick one into my stomach. I'm a tough boxer, buy some tickets.
Why not?
Yeah, well, what about knocking on the door and saying, listen, I've got a fight next week. I'm local in the area. Is there any chance, would anybody be interested in buying a few tickets? I'll do you a deal. If you buy 10 off me, I'll charge you for 9 and give you 1 for free because you're a shop owner. You know, something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I tell Dennis's boxers to do. And they stand there and go, yeah, no sweat, Pork. And then you say, how many tickets you done? You know, a couple of weeks later, they go,
10.
oh, I'm waiting on my mate who had his gyro, or my mates, and they're on a job, they're working it. And you did every excuse in the book. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah. Because if I was a boxer, the only fans I'd ever care about are the ticket buyers. I don't care what the wankers on Twitter say. I don't care what the numpties say on the podcast. I wouldn't care. If you're not buying a ticket, you're not relevant to the discussion. That's my attitude. If you're not buying a ticket, if you're not doing a pay-per-view, if you're not putting your pounds and pennies into the boxing economy, you are irrelevant. Your opinion doesn't count.
You know, best thing that people can say to a boxer. You know what? I've asked a few boxers this. I've asked world champions it, and I say, what's best thing? And they say, when somebody comes up to me and they say, we all went back to so and so's house, we put your fight on with so and so. That's what boxers love. That's all you've got to do. If you want to, you know, that's just say something like that to a boxer. You know, like if you're all right and having a pint with Clinton and you say, oh, remember when you fought so and so? They go, oh dear, something like that. That's nice. But how many boxers nowadays do we say, oh, God, let's go home and put his fight on? There ain't many, is there, tell?
Mate, I still run back you and Michael the Emperor.
Fuck off.
No, I do. I run that back. You know, sometimes I do like commentary over it.
Tell you, if I'd have set about with me, they'd been bullying, wouldn't it? And they went through to shit him up.
Mate. When the jacket didn't come off as smoothly as
You know
you
why
wanted,
it
I
didn't
was like,
come off? Because he had them things on arm, didn't it? And I didn't fucking realise. I had a tracksuit on underneath. And I remember getting in the car and I thought, oh, can I put a leather on here with fucking tracksuit? And Max were rushing me. I was just get in the car and get your foot down, Max. I was filming that day. I said, look at me, I've got a fucking leather jacket on and a black tracksuit. I look right. I should have had jeans on. And
mate,
tried to get into the presser. Clifton Mitchell won't let me in. And then I seen him on corner and I said, here, forget you, Clifton. He's there. I went straight over.
oh, listen. That, but I can watch that for ages and just find new things to laugh at. It's brilliant. I was like,
When I got him round that back, he'd have been in serious trouble. I wasn't going to do that to him because he wasn't right. Well, the kid wasn't well, but
you would also you weren't fully recovered.
Try and be right with people, and that's what happens.
You weren't fully recovered by then, were you?
Well, that guy had a bag on one side of my stomach coming out, and ask Max, and on others, I've got these 2 pipes coming out of my stomach, and they're tucked into tracky bottoms. Oh, raging!
Wait, 1 body shot that might have been you done though.
Yeah, well, listen, mate. Listen, if it had got to that, mate, we were going to be going down, and I'd have had to test my new choppers on him. It'd have had proper zirconium around his neck. It'd have been like Jaws, like James Bond, trust me. But listen, it is what it is. If he'd have come up to Chris, I'm glad he didn't fight Nicky Smedley because he wasn't going to go down very good for him coming up there. I can assure you what we're going to go on. It wasn't going to go well for him, and I think he knew that because he tried to wriggle at it a few times. He were panicking.
Nah, you know what? When I spoke to him, he's a nice kid.
Yeah.
But you know when they're like that, Russ, sometimes they need guidance. I think there's a lot of things like in our boxing circle, that kind of boxing content world, where everyone tries to be the tough alpha, right? But sometimes you gotta just sit down and go, look, Michael, Russ is a good man. Russ is a family man. Yeah. You can't be throwing rocks at a family man's family. It's problematic for him and it's problematic for the rest of us watching it because we respect family men. We know how hard it is to be a family man.
Yeah.
I'm like, that man did you a solid. You should never be throwing rocks at him. I didn't raise my voice at all, Russ. I said, you shouldn't be throwing rocks at him. If you disagree with him or if you think that his content's weak, you can dig him out for that. And I said, Russ is a big boy.
You
He
know
can
what the
hold back.
argument were, Terry? The original Fallout argument. He was on my channel on a Zoom, and he was
Yeah.
saying, "Well, Davy Day is a drug cheat," and I went, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! You can't say that on here. Davy Day has never failed the dope test, and he has not, has he, Davy Day?" And he went, "No, no, no, I know," and I went, "Whoa, you can't say that," and I never had him on again, and that was all it was. Well, that was all it
Well,
was.
has he failed? Has he failed? Has he failed?
He's never failed the dope test. Never failed the dope test whatsoever. And I couldn't have that on there. Because people who are friends with David A would have said, "What were all that about on your channel?" I would have said, "Yeah, sorry about that, but it didn't look good, did it?" So, and
No, 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 no,
he
no.
took it wrong way, and that was it. And then before, you know where you are.
Yeah.
That,
But that's a lot of fallouts in boxing. A lot of fallouts in boxing could have been solved over a pint.
well, he didn't even
Look,
drink. I mean, he came in. I said, he said, "I don't drink. My name's Michael. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't take drugs, and I'm a virgin." And I thought, "Oh my God." And it wasn't like, obviously, I met you and Terry, you and sorry, Rico on social media. And I thought, "Oh my God." What? And he didn't want to go for a pint. And I thought, well, all right. He didn't want to go out. And I took him out for something to eat. And then he said he was a vegan. So then I had to take him somewhere else. Look, I tried my best. The guy was at a fucking bus station, mate, shivering. You do your best, don't you, people? And look, he nearly managed to pull a fight up with Nicky Smedley, but it would not have gone well for him against Nicky Smedley. No way would it have. And Nicky wouldn't have gone in there and played around with him because all his pals from Manor had been there. It would have been on top for Michael, I can assure you. But it is what it is, isn't it? And do I wish him well? No, I don't. I don't even give him a second think, mate. I don't even think about it. But I think about Rico more than him. How's Rico doing?
he's all right. He's living that corporate life.
But why?
Um,
What, all the notes on end of his check every week?
yeah, I know he definitely. But yeah, listen. In about 6 months' time, he's going to be texting me like, "Listen, I need an exercise plan. I'm waiting for it, man. I'm waiting for it."
Is he content with Jessica? Is she doing a lot of cooking for him?
I have no idea.
I seen him. I said to him, "All right." He sent me a picture. He was in this. It was. I think it might have been Italy or something. I know it was a pool. It looked really nice. The villa he had, like. And I said, "Rico, you look like you living large, living it large." But why not? He puts effort in, doesn't he? He's got a lot of pressure on his. He's got a lot on
Yeah,
his
yeah,
week, hasn't he?
no,
So
exactly.
if you work hard, you play hard, don't you? So good luck to Rico. I like him, and he don't come on as much because he's snowed in, isn't he?
But what, like when work hits you, Russ, it's just hard. It's hard to find. It's hard to find time. Then it's hard to find the headspace to even think about boxing.
Yeah, he's a good night out though, isn't he, Rico? We've had some corkers with him, haven't we?
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I say, well, listen, mate, Russ. Sometimes I'll record one of my podcasts, right, and I'll start recording at midnight, and by the time I've finished everything, it's about 2:15 in the morning. I now got to be up in the morning for work. Like it's a nightmare trying to squeeze some things in when work kicks in.
Yeah. Hey, listen, mate. I'm telling you now. I've been filming today. This video we all know there's still three, haven't we? That's 90. Well, there's 85 out there. There's five in production. That's 90. So I've done it by 2 days, Kevin, because he said you need to be doing three a day for 30 days, and that's two, and it's 28 today. So I've managed to do it, and it's an hard slog to get three a day out for a month. That is hard on a one man band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hard, but we managed to do it this month just to prove a point, and it is hard, and it's getting harder. but you've got to put more thought in. I think more thought's got to come in. But I've got a few ideas for next month. But we're going to see, aren't we? We've got to do your best, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm just stay true to ourselves. But what I will say to people who, and listen, I've never known a sport like it where people get bent out of shape over an opinion. Boxing, Carl Froch said to me one day years ago, says, Porky, it's subjective. Don't take it to heart. Do you know what I mean? And that's what boxing is.
Yeah.
It's subjective, but we're tribal over it, aren't we? A bit like sometimes Liverpool, Man U, Arsenal, Spurs, all that, innit? You know, we're tribal, aren't we? We're a tribal country, aren't we? England, but boxing brings out the worst in all of us, doesn't it? Let's have it right, Terry. Come on.
Yeah, I've had to learn to be more detached, mate. I've just learned just to be like, I don't care. I don't care about my own opinions anymore.
Listen, there's people who come on my channel, right? I swear to God, they get that vile. Camera say, I had to block that. I couldn't let you see that. And then they're back. And then they come back on a new account. And they'll keep doing it to him. And they keep setting up these new ones. And they come back at the same person and go, I've got another one. And I think, well, it takes ages to set them up. Listen, I know because I look on these analytics and it says 65.6% of people, right, who tune into my channel aren't subscribed, right? But they're still watching. 54,000 different accounts watched this channel last month, but only about 13,000 subscribed. So where's the other 41,000? What are they doing? Don't they know how to press sub? Or can't? Or
Well,
don't?
mate, wait, well, this is everything we've talked about, right? A lot of people in boxing love to consume and not contribute.
Yeah. They're consuming
Yeah.
my content, but they're not pressing button.
There you go. Just like they're watching boxing and not buying tickets.
But then the sponsors are saying, well, what's going on here? I said, well, there you go. That's how many people watched it last month, but that's how many subbed it. Ain't my fault. And then they say, oh, okay, they're happy once you show them that. So either way, it don't matter to me. It don't mean I get any more money. It's more of an ego thing, isn't it, really, I suppose. But we don't cheat on it. There's no cheating. It's all organic. You know
Yeah.
that. But sometimes it's just hard to figure out. And like I said, I couldn't even work an Atari when I was a kid, so I don't think I've done too bad in 6 years, have I? I've had help on her from a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. But you have to, like, success moves in groups, Russ.
Listen, mate, we've all stuck together, haven't we? We've done what we've done. We've believed in giving our opinions, haven't we, on here? You and Martin, we did it for ages. That were fantastic. You were like trailblazers, weren't you, back in the day? And
Yeah,
Andy.
yeah. But we
And I
just did
miss
what we
that,
felt.
mate. I miss that, You all used to go there, for a gathering on a Sunday. I miss it.
Yeah.
I think once a month would have been perfect. That once a week might have been just too much, for you all. With your hectic schedules. Once a month would have been ideal.
Yeah. But you know what also, Russ? One of the things you realize is you can't be the rebel forever.
Yeah, oh yeah, no.
You know, like the stuff that starts off being rebellious and all that sort of good stuff, it then just becomes normal, right? And then some other kid comes up who's even more extreme, and you're
Well,
like, I can't do that, so I'm just going to stick to my lane here. And then people call you mainstream. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just how life goes.
I thought you did well. And do you know what? I don't seem to see much of Steve Goodwin's pod. I've had to stop that.
No. The episode came out yesterday. I think there'll be one again
Oh,
soon.
somebody send me because I don't know Twitter, do I? Somebody does it for channel, but I don't really go on Twitter much. So is that on Steve's YouTube or his Twitter?
Also, one of the podcast apps like Spotify or something.
Oh yeah, I'll have to have a look for that because I don't mind Steve Goodwin and Martin on there. Is Martin still doing bit stream and that?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they got on really well then, don't they?
Yeah.
Martin's a boxing bloke, can he really? Martin.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Bloke,
Good
isn't
man,
he?
good friend. Yeah.
Okay, give me a prediction. Does Fury Usyk happen, Terry? Yes or no?
Yes,
February 17th, you're saying it happens.
I think it'll happen in March. It'll happen before. It will happen before Ramadan for sure, but
Well,
maybe not on that day.
I'm going to say Fury Usyk doesn't happen February 17th because I kind of like get to hear about Tyson Fury's Christmas feats, what he likes to do at Christmas, and I very much doubt he'll be agile enough to take on Usyk in Feb. Although I don't think he's bottling it, I think they'll just drag it out for a bit longer, and they'll get it ready to end at the season in March. But Feb 17th is a no for me. Joshua against Walling, I think, can go either way, but he's going to get no favours, is he, Walling? Because Joshua's the money, isn't he?
Yeah,
Miller and Daniel DeBar, that's an intriguing one for me, that, because he throws a lot of punches, Miller, doesn't he?
yeah.
I wonder what,
That could be that could be the upset of the night.
yeah, DeBar, and because Daniel DeBar looks to me like somebody sticks it on him. He looks like he's looking for a way out, doesn't he?
Um, yeah, but it's tough though.
And we'll finish off on this one. Does Dominic Ingle, aka the Flexinator, fight Amar Khan, aka Killer Khan, at the Magna on a white collar? Yes or no?
No, no, Killer Khan will deal with them easily.
Killer's the man, isn't he?
I remember him from years back.
And him and
He
Dom
was
Grubb,
younger.
didn't they? It's just a shame this fell out, isn't it? But if they're gonna fight, I'll be ringside. It's only Bants, Dom. Get over it. You're a big lad. You used to be in a band, didn't you? I'm a sod on, I tell.
You're Porky's, yeah, you're Porky's corner, mate. That's it.
Go on, I'll let you get off. I've had you for 2 hours. Listen, thanks, Terry. You're a gentleman.
No, no worries,
We
mate.
beg to differ on a lot of things, but at the end of the day, the respect is there's the respect for Bean.
These two warriors put it all on the line.
Rough, tough, rugged.
All right, man, you
All
take care.
action. You take care, pal. Peace out.
Bye.
Well, that was Terry. We went at it hammer and tongue, and now that he's gone, I'm going to get last digging. Terry, Eddie Earn's a weasel, and so is Frank Warren. Right? That's my opinion. Weasel behaviour. Both jumping in bed together because there's a few quid. They can't stand the sight of each other. The things that they have tried to do to each other since 1987, them families, is unbelievable. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. One day it'll all come out in a book, but yet, where there's a few quid around, they all want to put their arms around each other. That, for me, is not how I'd deal with it. I'd be like, no, I don't want to work with them. If I were Frank, I wouldn't have thrown them a bone. I'd have found a way around it not to work with them. And if there couldn't be any work in Saudi without working with him, I'd have said toodaloo. I'd have put Fury on at Wembley and settled for that rather than work with that person. But that's me. But I beg to differ. So, but me and Terry don't agree on it. But hey ho, me and Julian didn't agree the other day. People who are good pals sometimes just don't agree, do they? So, but the good thing about my channel is that now that Terry's logged off, I can get a word in edgeways and I can say me bit. But I respect his opinion, but I don't agree. But a lot of things that Terry does come out with, I do agree, and I soak up like a sponge. And so does Dennis Hobson. He soaks up a lot of what Terry says. Okie dokie, everybody, thanks for listening. I might think I've worked my knackers off on the last 28 days. 2 days to go. Thank God, I'll be glad when November's over. All right. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. It's been emotional. I'm now off for a cup of tea with honey, Manuka honey, and 2 penguin biscuits. What do you reckon, Rocky? You want a penguin? That might be 3 penguin biscuits. You can't do that when you're in prison, can you? You can't just get up and go make a cup of tea and have a penguin. So count your blessings. All right. Go on. Peace out.